So, Sora is here, and it was a long time coming. They teased this almost a year ago, and the previews that they put out, it looked amazing, highly realistic. People said it was going to change the movie industry, change the game for everybody, and it might just do that, but not for the reasons expected. So I got access to it. I just have the $20 a month plan because I'm telling you right now, it is not worth $200 a month at this stage. But we're going to go through here. This will be episode 1 of a little series. We're just going to go through, pick out 10 videos, laugh at them quite a bit, talk about how badly they failed, and then move on to the next. This is the recent page on Sora. Whenever somebody generates a video, it's going to show up here, and you can also see their prompt and things like that. It's a really good learning tool to see what they attempted, because right now it's all over the place. Some people swear by just having very short, concise prompts. Other people say you want it to be really detailed. And once again, I'm telling you right now, they're all going to fail pretty badly, except if you get lucky, that 1 in 100 generation that just works. So, going through here, I thought this one was interesting. It caught my eye. It's a very simple prompt, a Pomeranian dog doing breakdancing. Now, of course, this is far from realistic. The dog's front end and rear end are switching places. It looks funny. It could be used in like a comedy or something, but not very realistic, even though the image quality is pretty good. The couch looks realistic. The plant looks realistic. There's a little bit of motion with the camera, but for what they wanted, it's a no-go. Now this one with the rocket, they wanted a video of the most powerful rocket ever invented taking off from a small tropical island with incredible thrust and speed. So number one, it's not taking off, it's landing for some reason. And for some reason there are 2 rockets. It's almost like it's attacking the first rocket with its, powerful thrusters shooting out, and it's landing. So basically the only thing this got right is that it is related to rockets and it looks like a small tropical island maybe. That's it. Everything else is just, not usable. Now, whether your video generations are usable or not, it doesn't matter. It's still going to take the credits, and it is going to take a lot of generations to get any sort of decent video. So let's continue down here. So that was the first 2. Here's another one. And a few issues with this. Whenever somebody is moving around quickly, if they're dancing, if they're doing gymnastics, anything like that, it's going to mess it up. The front of the head becomes the back of the head, becomes the front. Legs don't move quite right. And this one has the added issue of not knowing how mirrors work. So this has a storyboard at the bottom. It's going to be a little bit longer of a prompt, but basically they wanted a graceful woman twirling around in front of a mirror. And it kind of sort of does that, but with almost every sort of video I have seen, the longer you look at it, the worse it gets. So again, her front is turning into her back, turning into her front. There's a mirror over there that's not matching up. She's kind of overflowing out of the mirror. And if that's what the creator wanted, cool. But in this case, it's not. So that's a failure that they wouldn't be able to use in whatever project they might want to, unless it's supposed to be kind of unrealistic. On to number 4, we have this gorilla right here, and as you can see, its right arm is right here, its left arm is there, but that banana is being held by a floating hand that when it comes down, it turns into the left arm's hand. It just doesn't make sense, and another very, very common issue with these image generations. It's also supposed to be eating that banana, and it's not. It's almost like a backwards looking clip where it's putting more banana on the banana from its mouth. I don't know, but either way, very easy to tell that this is AI generated and very poorly generated at that. Scroll down a little bit more, and as you can see, they're not hard to find. Let's see what this was supposed to be. A golden hedgehog warrior launch his attack, a powerful beam of energy that explode a big rocks. So we do have a golden something. There are some spikes that could resemble a hedgehog. There is a powerful beam of energy, but why is it just kind of standing there static? Like it is a very fake. It almost looks like a video game from the late 90s, early 2000s. It's really bad and unusable. What number is that? 5? Let's see. All right, here we have, and I can't read that language, so let's translate it. A realistic video woman walking in the street with a lot of people around. When she passes by the Gnez, I'm not sure what that is, everyone turns around because she smells extremely good. People are in admiration of her passage. So overall, at first glance, it looks okay. You know, the hair is moving all right. The crowd in the background looks realistic. But again, why two right arms? And this one is so bad, it almost looks like the one on the bottom of her purse is supposed to be like a fake prosthetic arm, while her real arm is kind of bent and holding the strap. But it's not supposed to be. They didn't want that in the prompt. It just generated it like that. So let's call this next one number 6. Now, the internet is cats. It should have had plenty of source footage to train on to have cats. It cannot generate cats. Right off the bat, we see a double tail. One of the tails kind of wraps around, turns into a leg. Honestly, it looks like that cat is in heat, and it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be a holiday greeting. Style is realistic. Gray tabby cat walks into frame, sits down. So other than having a cat and maybe a holiday scene, everything else is wrong. And, you know, that's just how Sora is right now. You would think with other image generators, video generators, you can have it kind of enhance your prompt. It can use the power of large language models to take your idea and make it something kind of more compatible with the video generator. With OpenAI being one of the leaders in large language models, it seems like they would have Sora work well with their own large language model to kind of refine prompts so that the user can get what they want. But that is so far from reality. It is just not even usable right now. We'll call this one number 7. This has a storyboard and it's a pretty long prompt. The scene, I'll just skip the prompt. There aren't supposed to be fingers that switch positions and go from 5 to 4 to 3 to 4 or anything like that. You can see that the middle two fingers there kind of morph into each other. One of them slides down. The pinky kind of slides into the ring finger, then becomes a pinky again. And the focus is on the hand. So you would think, hey, maybe it's going to do a good job making the hand look right. No, this is like the olden days of image generation where it just could not produce hands properly, and that is the case here. All right, number 8. Here we have another example of a cat. A cozy and minimalist home scene featuring a black short-haired cat playing or scratching at a woven object inside a wooden cabinet. Now, it has those things. It often does. It knows what a cabinet is. It knows what a cat is. The cat is crouched with its front paws extended forward. On top of the cabinet, there's a greenish transparent glass. Oh, there's going to be more to that. All right, so it goes on and on. We have a green transparent glass thing in the foreground. It's not on the cabinet. And this cat is kind of, the front end becomes the back, multiple tails. All of a sudden it pulls this woven bag out of the board that it's sitting on. That same sort of texture, looks like, I don't know, a pillow or a bag or something is on the shelf next to it. It's just, it's not what they wanted. And it is such an issue that multiple limbs come out, they blend into each other, the front becomes the back, and it's the same for animals, people, and it produces non-usable footage. I'm not going to count this as number 9, but something that it generates almost all the time is a slow motion sort of feel to things. So up here on the right, they're having dinner. That's slow motion. That's not like the normal way that people would move. Drinking this water right here, again, slow motion, kind of floaty. All right, we're going to this one because I can just see those hands are not even kind of right in a single frame. Oftentimes, if it was a still image, it would look okay as they're holding their hands in a certain way, but then they kind of start to morph and blend as the video goes on. These aren't right from frame 1. And whoever used credits to produce this, I wish they could get their credits back because this is ridiculously bad. Keep an eye on the hands as I read this. Make me a video of cleaning the fridge. It has a fridge. Good start. The protagonist is a very pretty Korean woman, in her 20s, wearing a Korean Joseon Dynasty courtesan hanbok. Her hair is pale pink, like black pink rosé. So it has the refrigerator, it has a Korean woman, an Asian woman. It didn't get the hair right. The hands are just messed up throughout. It looks like an alien's representation of what they think humans might do, because she is not cleaning a fridge. That is not a fridge that even exists on the earth. The doors are kind of like opening up multiple times and sliding out. She doesn't have any cleaning supplies with her at all. It's mostly empty. So it's just a whole mess of things, again, where it gets a couple of the subjects, but what they're doing is way off. The animation is way off. The movement is off. The anatomy is off. It misses major details like having light pink hair. An unusable clip. All right, we'll do this last one, and then there's one other, I'm going to call it like a mini series that I have seen pop up throughout this morning. So this is supposed to be a hippogriff flying in the night sky above the Hogwarts castle. The issue with this is oftentimes when something is supposed to be moving, when it's supposed to be flying or swimming or walking, it just kind of has a really weird in-place animation. Like that's obviously not flying through the sky. This again looks like early 2000s CGI or video game graphics that are terrible. There's nothing realistic about it. Not that they asked for realism specifically in their prompt, but it wouldn't have mattered. So this just looks like, I don't even know, decades old. Some kid just learned how to find GIFs on the internet and put them together to make this little animated thing. This is so far from professional, it's ridiculous. And there is no threat at all to the movie industry at this point. So now we'll go to that mini series, and it involves this mess. On these videos, you can see the prompt underneath, and you can also see that this was a strong remix of another video. So let's go back to that video. This one was a strong remix of this video. This video started as a storyboard. A beautiful woman with long flowing hair and an athletic build stands confidently in a sunlit park. She playfully gives a large fluffy golden retriever a piggyback ride, its tongue lolling out and tail wagging. The surrounding trees are lush and green, with a few people in the background enjoying the day. The scene is vibrant and full of life, capturing a moment of carefree fun and companionship between the woman and her dog. The woman struggles under the weight of the dog and falls forward the ground. The dog goes down with her. So with that prompt in mind, it has something that resembles a woman, something that resembles a dog, but they're kind of morphed into each other. It's kind of a piggyback situation, but like she has the dog's head and face coming out of her neck, and it's almost like a weird cape or something. I don't even know. So that's why they did the remix. For the remix, they used the original video. They chose strong remix. You can choose if it's kind of like weak, medium, or strong. And they said this one is nearly perfect. Fix the lady's face and it will be excellent. Now, I've done that with LLMs too, said like, oh, thanks, or oh, good job. They don't care about that, and Sora isn't going to do anything useful with that. But now at least they're kind of separated, but the dog on her back doesn't have a head. The head is like coming out of the ground or something. She has a face, but as she bends down, it kind of like warps oddly. So anyway, they remixed it again. This one, the dog's head needs to be relocated onto its body. Yep, it sure does. But now we have another issue. It's kind of like the first one where they're kind of blended into each other. Her neck goes into the dog's head. Her arm kind of ends up being like part of the dog's leg, and the dog's paw has a hand coming out of it. It's just a mess all over again. So you could spend credit after credit after credit, 50, 100 of them at a time for these generations. And this is what you end up getting. It is so unusable. This was just episode 1. For right now, there's going to be an endless supply of just failures like this. So come back for episode 2 and we'll make fun of some more. Thanks for watching.